Hello everyone, in this video we are going to see about the addressing modes of microprocessor 8085. What is an addressing mode? An addressing mode helps to specify by which mode the data is specified. So the job of a microprocessor is to execute a set of instructions stored in the memory to perform a specific task. So we know that the microprocessor does the job specified by the program. It does the CPU does the processing, getting input from the user and giving output to the user. So for that we have the instructions. We know the program is a collection of instructions. Okay, so the instructions specify operations which involve operands and operators, and in order to specify where the operands is, we are using the addressing mode. So the operation requires the following. What are they? The operator or the opcode. This will tell what has to be done on what. So the operator or the opcode which determines what will be done, and the operands which define the data to be used in the operation. So where the data is, that is the operands. So that is given by this operations. So the addressing mode is the method to specify the operand of an instruction. So in order to perform the operation, the instructions are given. The instruction needs some operands to perform. Those operands are accessed using the addressing modes. Let us see different types of addressing modes. So first one is the immediate. As the name implies, when the immediate addressing mode, the actual data to be used as the operand is included in the instruction itself. That means the instruction contains the data itself. So example, LXAH2500, this 2500 is the 16-bit data which has to be loaded into the HL pair. So here this H indicates the pair of with the H and L, and this I indicates the immediate addressing mode, and X indicates the indexed mode. That means it is the combination of we are indexing or we are combining the H and the L pair together. Okay, so that is the meaning of this instruction. Load the HL pair with the value 2500. Here this value is the immediate data itself. So it is called as an immediate mode of addressing. Next is direct addressing. When using the direct addressing mode, the address of the operand is specified in the instruction. That means the instruction contains the address of the operand. So the example is STA2400H means this is the store instruction with the content of the memory into the accumulator. So 2400 is the memory location address from which data has to be taken and it should be stored to the accumulator. That is the meaning of this instruction. We can see the difference from this 2500 and this 2400. Here the H is suffixed. This H is the suffix indicates it is the memory location. So the addressing is given directly, the content is in the memory location. So that is the concept of direct addressing. The next instruction, which is then register addressing, as the name implies, the instruction contains the register address which carries the data. So register addressing mode indicates the operand data is stored in the register itself. So the instruction contains the address of the register. Why we are using the register? Registers are faster memory which helps to do the operations also faster. Let us see the example of this. Move A comma B. Here the instruction says move the content of the register B into the accumulator. So we are using the registers is involved in the instruction. So this is a diagram to specify. Instruction is to move. So register contains the data. Okay, so the content of example, if B contains 5, that 5 should be moved to the accumulator. Instead of directly saying in the immediate mode as 5 or direct mode as some memory location, this is using the register address. Register name of the register is B. So B contains some data, that data has to be moved to the accumulator. So next is the register indirect addressing. As the name implies, the effective address is stored in the another register. So that is the indirect, one register within the other register. So let us see the example here. In register indirect mode of addressing, the address of the operand is specified by the register pair. Okay, so the example is LXI-H2500H. Here load the HL pair with the content of the accumulator of the HL pair. Okay, so H is the memory location address, and that location address has to be searched to get the data, and that should be moved to the HL pair. Okay, so this X indicates the HL pair because you are using the X in the instruction, which means the combination of H and L. So this says that the address of the operand should be moved to the memory register, which is the HL register. So this instruction contains the register pair. Okay, so this is called an effective address. What is the effective addresses? The address really where the data is. So that address is stored in some other register. So that is the register indirect addressing mode. And the another one is the immediate is the implicit mode. Implicit mode means, or implied mode means, the instructions need not contain an operand. These are the instructions which operate on the content of the accumulator. Such instructions do not require the address of the operand. That means the instruction need not specify any address for the operand because the instruction contains the data itself. That means this instruction always access the content of the accumulator. Okay, so implicitly the data is in the accumulator, the instruction access the accumulator itself. So example, they are also called as a zero address instruction. So example of these instructions are CMA complement A. So content of the accumulator A should be complemented. That is the meaning of this. You can see here there is no another term here. Only CMA is the instruction. No data is specified. Data is specified in the accumulator itself. RAL means rotate accumulator left, rotate accumulator right. So everything is done with the respect to the accumulator, not with any external register or memory address or data. Everything is implemented in the accumulator itself. So this is as an implicit addressing. So the diagram says data is in the instruction itself. That's all. These are all the basic addressing modes in which the microprocessor 808 uses. 8085 users. There are also many other little advanced addressing modes. So when you are asked about the addressing modes of 8085, these instructions are enough we can specify, and hope it is easy to follow, and thanks for watching.